Thank you, Chair, and thank you for appearing today. My questions are in regard to the sale of assets of the delisted stock exchange miner Queensland Limited. The receivers have claimed on the 12th of June 2020 that approval had been recommended by FIRB for this. So the first question is, would FIRB confirm whether or not it recommended that Copper Resources Australia may purchase Queensland assets, including its major copper mine, on or shortly before that date, 12th of June?
Senator Tom Hamilton, I'm the Division Head of the Foreign Investment Division. Certainly we've been following media articles in relation to Queensland, which, as you know, entered voluntary administration in July 2019 and, as you said, was delisted from the ASX in February 2020. As you know, we don't comment on the specifics of individual cases, but we do understand that ASIC has looked into this matter and questions about some of the concerns that have been raised in the public around allegations of phoenixing by Queensland should be directed to ASIC.
Are you aware that this copper mine is reputedly one of the largest in the world? Or the copper reserves, sorry?
Senator, I was not aware of that myself.
Okay. Was FIRB aware that Copper Resources Australia was only incorporated on the 20th of May 2020?
Senator, again, I'm not aware of these details, but as I said, we would be limited in what we would wish to talk about in a public forum in relation to these entities.
Well, I'll just ask the other questions because they raise important points, and whatever you can answer, and whatever you can't, tell me. Was FIRB aware that Copper Resources Australia is basically a shell company with no significant assets and lacks the funds to buy copper by the firm? It had no mining experience or funds of their own to complete such a purchase?
I think that's the matter that we said ASIC was looking into.
Okay. So was there a recommendation made by FIRB?
Senator, as we said, personally I'm not aware of that, but we would not comment on that in any case.
Is FIRB aware that a change of beneficial ownership Form 484 was submitted on the 14th of July 2020, shortly after the approval given claim assigning the beneficial ownership to Chinese controlled company Dragonfield International Limited?
I'll refer you to my previous answer, Senator.
Was FIRB aware that it has been suggested that collusion of the Chinese directors and their actions brought the company into liquidation through fraudulent conduct intended to make the company fail and make it a cheap buy?
I'll refer you to my previous answer, Senator.
Is FIRB aware that the bid of $30 million from Copper Resources Australia promises to be paid to only non-Australian creditors when an Australian bid of $60 million, double the price, to purchase was declined by the receiver?
Again, Senator, I'll refer you to what I said previously.
Is FIRB aware that this purchase, if this purchase is allowed to proceed, Chinese interests will acquire allegedly more than $100 million of Australian assets for less than $30 million, leaving Australian investors and creditors unpaid, with reportedly the value of the plant was valued at scrap metal?
Again, Senator, I'd refer you to my previous answer.
Can you explain how this recommendation, if you made that recommendation, could be in Australia's best interest?
So, Senator, we've sort of noted in previous hearings that we're very happy to discuss these sort of matters in a private hearing. The legislation has particular constraints on us around sharing protected information, but we have previously discussed particulars of certain matters in private hearings with senators, and we're happy to consider making that offer. There is another committee looking at foreign investment which we appear before, and we have appeared before them, and we anticipate we'll appear before them again.
Can you tell me when that would be?
I'm not sure when the next one is,
okay.
But I think we're scheduled to appear.
Can my office get a briefing from you at all?
We can certainly put that to the Treasurer's office, yeah.
Okay. So you'll get back to my office?
We'll talk to the Treasurer's office
and then
about
get
that.
back, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.